Ladies and gentlemen, greatness is never built in dramatic moments. Greatness is built in quiet decisions repeated every single day. Many people are waiting for a financial miracle. But wealth is not usually born in miracles. Wealth is born in wisdom, discipline, and tiny habits that accumulate like drops filling an ocean. Discipline in saving money is one of the most powerful forces that quietly shapes financial destiny. Many people believe wealth is created through big opportunities, lucky breaks, or sudden success stories. But true financial freedom is usually built in silent moments when no one is watching. Wealth is not created in moments of celebration, it is created in moments of restraint. The habit of saving money, even in small amounts, is like planting seeds in fertile soil. At first, nothing seems to happen. You see no dramatic growth, no instant rewards, and sometimes you may even feel that your efforts are meaningless. But financial success is never about instant visibility. It is about long-term sustainability. When you develop the discipline to save before you spend, you are actually training your future self to live in freedom rather than financial anxiety. Many people live in a cycle where they spend first and save what is left. But wealth builders reverse that system. They save first and live on what remains. This is not about living in suffering or denying yourself enjoyment. It is about mastering your priorities. Emotional spending is one of the greatest enemies of financial progress. People often buy things because they want to feel accepted, respected, or valued by society. But true wealth builders do not allow social pressure to dictate their financial decisions. They understand that temporary satisfaction can destroy long-term security. Saving money also builds mental strength. When you learn to control small financial decisions, you are actually strengthening your self-control in other areas of life. Success is not only about earning more, it is about controlling more of what you earn. Many high earners remain financially unstable because their expenses grow faster than their income. Wealth is not determined by how much money comes in. Wealth is determined by how much money stays and grows after it comes in. This is why disciplined savers often outperform undisciplined high earners over time. Another important truth is that saving creates opportunity readiness. Life does not always announce opportunities in advance. Sometimes opportunities appear suddenly. And those who are financially prepared are the ones who can act quickly. When you have savings, you can invest in business opportunities, education, or assets without relying on debt. Debt can sometimes become a trap because it steals future income. Savings, however, give you financial breathing space. It gives you power to make decisions without pressure. The habit of saving also changes your mindset about money. Instead of seeing money as something to be consumed immediately, you begin to see money as a tool for creating more value. Money should work for you, not only be worked for. When you save consistently, you start thinking like an investor instead of a spender. Investors ask questions like, how can this money grow? How can this money create more income? How can this money protect my future? These questions are powerful because they shift your perspective from survival to strategy. Consistency is more important than quantity when it comes to saving. You do not need to start with large amounts. You start with discipline. Even small percentages saved regularly can grow into significant wealth over time because of compounding growth. Compounding works like momentum. At first, growth may be slow, but as time passes, growth accelerates. The earlier you start saving, the more time your money has to multiply. Financial freedom is not built overnight. It is built through repeated acts of wisdom. Every time you choose to save instead of spend unnecessarily, you are planting a seed of future security. Every time you delay gratification, you are strengthening your financial character. True wealth is not just about having money. It is about having peace of mind. And peace of mind comes when you know that your future is not dependent on unpredictable circumstances. Remember this powerful principle. Your financial future is shaped by your daily financial decisions. Not your dreams alone, not your intentions alone, but your daily actions. If you want a wealthy future, start by mastering the small habit of saving today. Because wealth is simply the reward for respecting financial wisdom over time. The first powerful principle is understanding that wealth begins when you learn to pay yourself first, not last. Most people live their financial lives in reverse order. They earn money, then immediately distribute it to expenses, desires, and obligations, and whatever remains is what they save. But true financial wisdom teaches something different. You must treat yourself as a priority in your financial system. Before you pay bills, before you satisfy entertainment desires, before you make emotional purchases, you must first take a portion of your income and store it for your future. This is not selfishness, this is stewardship. You are not only living for today, You are building a life that will still stand when your energy is weaker, when opportunities are fewer, and when time has moved forward. Paying yourself first is a declaration of self-respect and future responsibility. Many people live with financial anxiety because they have never learned to create financial security for their future self. Imagine planting seeds for a tree that you may never sit under, but your children or future generations will enjoy its shade. That is what saving represents. When you consistently save, even small amounts, you are sending a message to your future that you believe in it. Wealth is not always created by large amounts of money. Wealth is created by consistency over long periods of time. The person who saves small amounts regularly will eventually surpass the person who earns more, but saves nothing. There is a psychological transformation that happens when you pay yourself first. You move from a survival mindset into a builder mindset. Survival thinking asks, how can I get through this month? Builder thinking asks, how can I design a financial system that will sustain my life? When you pay yourself first, you are training your mind to think like a steward of resources rather than a slave to consumption. Consumption is temporary satisfaction. Investment is long-term empowerment. Many people believe they cannot save because their income is small. But financial wisdom does not begin with how much you earn. It begins with how disciplined you are with what you have. If you cannot manage small money, you will not manage large money. The habits you build with little income will follow you when your income increases. That is why financial maturity is more important than financial quantity. Start with small percentages. Start with consistent dedication. Over time, compound growth becomes your silent partner in wealth creation. The second powerful principle is the commitment to continuous learning and personal development. Knowledge is one of the most powerful assets a person can possess. Money follows value. The more valuable you become to society, the more financial rewards will move toward you. The world does not reward effort alone. It rewards problem solvers. People who are constantly learning become people who are constantly expanding their earning potential. Learning is not only about formal education, it is about developing financial intelligence, emotional intelligence, business understanding, and leadership capacity. The most successful individuals are not necessarily the ones who worked the hardest physically. They are the ones who worked the smartest mentally. They studied markets. They studied human behavior. They studied opportunities before acting. Every day should include some form of learning investment. Even 30 minutes of reading, listening to educational content, or studying successful systems can gradually transform your life. Knowledge is like water to the mind. Without knowledge, opportunities cannot grow because opportunities require preparation. When preparation meets opportunity, success is born. Many people wait for opportunities, but wise people prepare for them before they arrive. Continuous learning also protects you from financial manipulation and poor decision making. When you understand how money works, you are less likely to fall victim to financial pressure or emotional selling. Many people lose money not because they are poor, but because they are financially uneducated. Education gives you the ability to make decisions that protect your future. Learning also expands your creativity. The more you learn, the more solutions you can create. The more solutions you create, the more problems you can solve. And the more problems you solve, the more wealth will flow toward you. Wealth is not attracted to need. Wealth is attracted to value creation. You must also learn from experiences, not only from books. Observe successful people. Study their habits. Study their discipline. Learn from their mistakes without repeating them. Life is one of the greatest teachers if you are humble enough to learn from it. Remember this truth. Your income will rarely outgrow your personal development. If you want your financial life to grow, you must grow first. Invest in your mind. Invest in your skills. Invest in your understanding of the world. The mind is the greatest wealth building tool you possess. If you combine the discipline of paying yourself first with the power of continuous learning, you will build a financial future that is not dependent on luck. You will build a future that is based on wisdom, discipline, and intentional living. Your life will become a testimony that small habits, practiced consistently, can create extraordinary wealth and freedom over time. Greatness in wealth and life begins with understanding that tiny disciplines shape massive destinies. The first truth I want you to understand is that paying yourself first is not about money, it is about priority and self-respect. Most people believe wealth begins when income increases, but real wealth begins when discipline increases. When income comes, many people immediately rush to satisfy external demands, bills, entertainment, social pressure, emotional purchases, and temporary pleasures. But wise people first allocate a portion of their income to their future. Even if the amount is small, the principle is powerful. Wealth is not built by sudden financial windfalls. It is built by consistent financial loyalty to your future self. When you pay yourself first, you are declaring that your future deserves respect. You are telling your present desires that they cannot control your destiny. This habit trains the mind to think like an investor rather than a consumer. Over time, small savings become capital. Capital becomes opportunities. Opportunities become financial independence. People often wait to have more money before they start saving, but wisdom says start with what you have. If you cannot manage small money, you will struggle to manage large money. Financial freedom is not about how much you earn, but how well you manage what you earn. The person who learns to control small finances today will be trusted with greater financial responsibility tomorrow. Discipline in small savings is actually discipline in self-governance. And self-governance is the foundation of long-term prosperity. The second truth is that knowledge is one of the greatest wealth multipliers in existence. Many people focus on working harder, but successful people focus on thinking smarter. The world does not reward effort alone, it rewards effective knowledge applied through wisdom. Every day should be an investment in learning something new about money, business, technology, or human behavior. When you learn how money moves, you begin to position yourself where money naturally flows. The richest asset you can possess is not physical property, but mental capacity. Your mind determines your income ceiling. If you think like everyone else, you will live like everyone else. But when you invest time in understanding investments, market behavior, entrepreneurship, and value creation, you expand your financial possibilities. Knowledge protects you from financial deception. Many people lose money not because they are poor, but because they are financially uninformed. Education is not only formal education, it is practical life education. Read books, study successful people, observe economic patterns, and ask questions about how wealth is created rather than how wealth is spent. The world pays for solutions, not for complaints. When your mind becomes a solution factory, money will look for you instead of you chasing money. Knowledge gives you negotiation power, investment wisdom, and business insight. Never underestimate the power of learning every single day. Even 30 minutes of daily learning can change your financial future in 5 to 10 years. Success is not random, success is educated. The third truth is that wealth requires the courage to build assets before pursuing lifestyle comfort. Many people destroy their financial future because they want to live like they are rich before they actually become financially strong. True wealth is not visible luxury. True wealth is invisible security. Society often celebrates appearance, but financial intelligence celebrates substance. Luxury without foundation is emotional spending disguised as success. Wise people focus first on building income, producing assets such as businesses, investments, or intellectual property. Only after the foundation is strong do they allow themselves to enjoy luxury responsibly. Think of wealth as building a house. You cannot decorate the house before building the structure. Many people decorate their financial lives with expensive clothes, expensive phones, and expensive lifestyles while their financial foundation remains weak. Real wealth is when your assets can sustain your lifestyle without you working excessively. Financial maturity is learning to delay gratification. The ability to say no to temporary pleasure is the ability to say yes to long-term freedom. Build your future before celebrating your present. Invest first, spend later. Wealth is not about looking rich. Wealth is about being financially secure, even when life becomes uncertain. Economic storms will come, but if your financial foundation is strong, you will not be easily shaken. If you apply these 3 principles consistently, paying yourself first, investing in knowledge, and building assets before lifestyle, you are not just chasing wealth, you are designing it. Remember, wealth is quiet. It grows in discipline. It grows in patience. It grows in wisdom. And one day, people will look at your life and call it success, but you will know it was built by tiny habits repeated every day. Success is never built overnight. True prosperity is usually the result of quiet obedience to principles that most people ignore. If you study the lives of financially successful individuals, you will discover that wealth is not always created by big opportunities, but by small, repeated decisions made with discipline and wisdom. Today, I want you to understand 4 powerful keynotes that can change your financial future if you practice them consistently. The first powerful principle is paying yourself first before paying anyone else. Many people live their lives backwards. They earn money, then immediately start spending on bills, entertainment, social obligations, and emotional purchases, and only if something remains, they try to save. But wealthy thinking teaches a different order. You must train yourself to treat your future self as the most important creditor in your life. When income comes, set aside a portion for saving or investing before anything else leaves your hands. It does not matter if it is a small amount at the beginning. What matters is the discipline of consistency. Wealth is not built by occasional large savings. It is built by regular small savings repeated over time. When you develop this habit, you are sending a message to your mind and your future that you respect financial growth. Many people do not become wealthy not because they do not earn enough, but because they never develop the habit of keeping what they earn. If you can control small amounts of money today, you will be trusted with larger amounts tomorrow. The second powerful principle is continuous learning and upgrading your financial intelligence. Knowledge is one of the greatest assets you can ever possess. The world does not reward people simply for working hard. It rewards people for solving problems effectively. Every successful person invests time in understanding how money works, how investments grow, how markets behave, and how businesses generate value. You should dedicate time every day to reading books, listening to educational content, or learning from people who are already successful in financial management. Your income rarely grows beyond the level of your knowledge. When you expand your mind, you expand your capacity to create wealth. The most dangerous financial position is not poverty itself, it is ignorance about how money operates. When you understand financial principles, you begin to see opportunities where others see risk. You begin to make wiser decisions about spending, saving, and investing. Knowledge protects you from financial mistakes that destroy many families. The third powerful principle is mastering emotional control over spending. Many people are not financially poor because of lack of money. They are financially poor because of lack of emotional discipline. The modern world is designed to trigger emotional buying. Advertising makes people feel that happiness is connected to purchasing material possessions. But true financial freedom begins when you learn to separate emotions from financial decisions. Do not buy things to impress people who do not contribute to your financial future. Do not measure success by how many luxury items you can display. Real wealth is not visible through temporary possessions. Real wealth is seen in long-term financial stability, investments, and freedom from debt pressure. When you control your emotions, you control your money. When you control your money, you control your future. Discipline is not punishment, discipline is protection. It protects you from financial decisions that you will regret later in life. Learn to ask yourself before every purchase, do I really need this? Or do I just want it for emotional satisfaction? The fourth powerful principle is building multiple streams of value rather than depending on a single source of income. Life is unpredictable. Jobs can change, businesses can fluctuate, and economies can shift. But people who become financially secure learn how to create multiple ways of generating income. This does not mean working yourself to exhaustion. It means learning how to turn your skills, knowledge, and talents into different forms of value for society. When you solve more problems for more people, financial opportunities naturally increase. Think of yourself not only as an employee, but as a value creator. Ask yourself what skills you can develop that people are willing to pay for. The more valuable you become, the more financially secure your life becomes. Wealth follows value creation, not just time spent working. Build something that can generate income even when you are resting. That is true financial wisdom. If you practice these four principles consistently, your financial future will begin to change quietly but powerfully. Remember that wealth is not loud. Wealth is patient. Wealth is built in moments when nobody is watching. Start small. Stay consistent, think wisely, and invest in your future every single day. Your destiny is not determined by your current situation. Your destiny is determined by your daily habits and financial decisions. Choose discipline today, and tomorrow will reward you with freedom. Greatness is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in the quiet repetition of disciplined actions. When we study wealth creation, we often focus on income, opportunities, or education. But the true foundation of financial transformation begins with habits that seem small, almost insignificant, yet carry the power to reshape an entire financial future. Wealth is not a random event. It is a predictable outcome of consistent behavior. If you want to become financially strong, you must learn to respect the power of small beginnings. The first principle is paying yourself first before you pay anyone else. Many people live under the illusion that wealth will come after all expenses are paid. But financially wise people understand a different order. When income arrives, they immediately allocate a portion to savings or investments before they touch the money for lifestyle expenses. This is not about how much money you earn, it is about how disciplined you are with what you already have. Even if the amount is small, consistency creates momentum. Wealth grows like a tree. No tree becomes large overnight. It begins as a small seed, planted in quiet soil, watered regularly, and protected from destruction. In the same way, every dollar saved today becomes a seed for future opportunity. When you learn to prioritize your future self over your present comfort, you begin walking on the path of financial independence. This habit teaches self-respect, patience, and long-term thinking. People who master this principle do not panic during economic uncertainty because they have already built a financial cushion through discipline. The second principle is committing to lifelong learning about money and value creation. Financial success is not about working harder alone. It is about working smarter with knowledge. The world does not pay people simply for time spent working. It pays people for the problems they solve. When you increase your knowledge, you increase your ability to create solutions. And solutions always attract financial reward. This means reading books, studying investments, understanding entrepreneurship, and observing how successful systems operate. Education is not limited to schools. True education is self-development every single day. The most successful people invest in their minds even before they invest in businesses. Knowledge reduces risk. Knowledge increases confidence. Knowledge gives you the ability to recognize opportunities when others only see challenges. If you want to change your financial life, start by changing what you feed your mind daily. Replace financial ignorance with financial wisdom. Spend time learning about assets, passive income, and market behavior. Over time, your thinking will begin to produce wealth-oriented decisions instead of fear-based decisions. The third principle is mastering emotional control over spending decisions. Many financial failures are not caused by lack of money, but by lack of emotional discipline. People often purchase things not because they need them, but because they want to feel accepted, respected, or successful in the eyes of others. This is a dangerous trap. Financial freedom begins when you stop allowing emotions to control your wallet. Ask yourself before every purchase, do I need this, or do I want this? Does this purchase build my future, or does it only satisfy temporary pleasure? Successful people understand delayed gratification. They are willing to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term stability. Emotional spending destroys wealth because it shifts focus from value creation to social validation. True wealth builders learn to live with purpose rather than pressure. They understand that success is not measured by how much luxury you display, but by how strong your financial foundation is behind the scenes. When you control your emotions, you control your financial destiny. The fourth principle is building multiple streams of value and income. Dependence on one source of income is risky in an unpredictable world. Economic systems change, industries evolve, and jobs can disappear. Therefore, financial wisdom teaches diversification of value creation. This does not mean chasing many things at once. It means developing skills that can produce income in different ways. You can have a main profession while also building investments, side businesses, or digital assets that generate passive income over time. Wealth is not built through working harder only. It is built through making your time work for you. The goal is to move from exchanging time for money into creating systems that produce money even when you are resting. When you create value for many people, financial reward naturally follows. Money moves toward problem solvers, innovators, and consistent creators of value. Start small, but start building something that can grow beyond your physical effort. The fifth principle is investing before expanding lifestyle expenses. Many people celebrate success by immediately increasing their expenses. But wise wealth builders first strengthen their assets. Luxury is not wrong, but luxury without financial structure becomes a trap. Build assets before you build lifestyle expectations. Invest in businesses, investments, or assets that can grow over time. Wealth is not what you spend. Wealth is what you keep and multiply. Financial freedom comes when your investments begin generating income that supports your lifestyle. At that point, work becomes optional rather than mandatory. Remember that true wealth is not measured by appearances, but by financial security, freedom, and generational impact. If you want your children and future generations to live in financial stability, you must start building assets today. If you apply these 5 quiet habits daily, you will slowly transform your financial destiny. Wealth does not announce itself loudly. Wealth grows silently through discipline, knowledge, emotional control, strategic thinking, and long-term investment. One day, people will look at your success and call it luck, but you will know it was obedience to principles practiced in quiet moments. Your future wealth is being shaped by the habits you practice today. Choose wisely, stay disciplined, and keep building in silence. Success in life and wealth is rarely built in loud moments. It is built in quiet, disciplined actions repeated every single day. Many people are searching for financial breakthroughs, but they are looking in the wrong direction. True prosperity begins not in the marketplace, but in the mindset. If you want to change your financial future, you must first change your daily habits. There are 6 tiny habits that quietly build wealth, and these habits are simple, but their power is profound when practiced consistently. The first habit is learning to control your spending before increasing your income. Many people believe that making more money will solve their financial problems. But history and wisdom teach us that financial freedom begins with financial discipline. When you learn to live below your means, you create space for growth. Every time you receive money, there should be a portion that you do not touch. Not because you are poor, but because you are wise. Wealth is not about showing success. Wealth is about building stability. When you control your expenses, you control your future. Many people earn more, but still remain financially trapped because their lifestyle grows faster than their income. True financial maturity is when your discipline grows faster than your desires. The second habit is paying yourself first before paying the world. The world will always demand something from you. Bills will demand payment. Society will demand entertainment spending. Friends may demand social participation in expensive activities. But wisdom teaches that you must first secure your future before satisfying the present. Even if it is a small amount, saving consistently creates financial momentum. Wealth is not built through sudden large savings. It is built through consistent small deposits of discipline. The richest people are not necessarily the highest earners. They are the most consistent savers and investors. When you prioritize your future self, you are planting seeds that will grow silently while you sleep. The third habit is investing in knowledge before investing in material things. Many people want luxury before they want knowledge. But knowledge creates wealth systems, while luxury only consumes wealth. Every day, you should feed your mind with information about business, finance, and opportunities. The world pays people for solving problems, not for having desires. When you become more knowledgeable, you become more valuable. The market rewards value creators. If you want to increase your income, increase your problem-solving ability. Education does not stop at school. Education continues in books, mentorship experience, and observation of successful patterns. When your thinking expands, your opportunities will also expand. The fourth habit is developing multiple sources of value creation. Financial security does not come from depending on one income stream. Life is uncertain, but value creation is universal. If you can solve more problems for more people, money will naturally move toward you. Start small. Create skills that can generate additional income. In today's world, opportunities exist in digital spaces, services, knowledge sharing, and entrepreneurship. You do not have to start big. You only have to start wisely. One small stream of income can eventually grow into multiple financial channels if nurtured with patience and consistency. Success is not about speed. It is about sustainability. The fifth habit is mastering emotional control when making financial decisions. Emotions are powerful, but they can destroy financial futures. Many people buy things to impress people who are not even thinking about them. Emotional spending is one of the greatest enemies of wealth. Mature financial living means you buy based on necessity, not emotional impulse. Ask yourself before every purchase, does this build my future? Or does this only satisfy a temporary feeling? Wealthy people do not spend based on emotions. They spend based on strategy. Your feelings may want instant pleasure, but your future requires long-term wisdom. The sixth habit is thinking like an investor instead of thinking like a consumer. Wealth grows when money works for you. Poor financial thinking is when you work for money alone. Wealth thinking is when you make money work with you. Every income should have a purpose beyond spending. Some should be saved, some should be invested, and some should be used to create more opportunities. Investment is not only about stocks or businesses. Investment can also be in personal development, relationships, and opportunities that increase your influence and productivity. Remember this powerful truth: success is not loud. Success grows quietly in daily routines. One day people will look at your life and call it luck, but you will know it was discipline. Your destiny is not controlled by your current situation. Your destiny is shaped by your daily decisions. Start small, stay consistent, think long-term, build habits that your future self will thank you for. Wealth is not a destination. Wealth is a lifestyle of wisdom, patience, and faithful discipline applied every single day. Greatness begins in the unseen places of life. The first principle is understanding that tiny habits create massive, long-term wealth. Many people search for big financial breakthroughs, but real wealth is often built in quiet moments when nobody is watching. The world celebrates sudden success, but financial freedom is usually the result of thousands of small decisions repeated over many years. Every time you choose discipline over convenience, you are planting seeds for your financial future. Wealth does not usually arrive in one dramatic moment. It grows slowly, steadily, and almost invisibly. The difference between those who become financially free and those who remain trapped in financial struggle is not always intelligence or opportunity. It is the ability to stay faithful to small, productive habits long enough for them to produce results. If you want to become wealthy, you must respect the power of small beginnings. Never despise the small daily actions that may seem insignificant today, but will become powerful tomorrow. The second principle is that discipline is more powerful than motivation. Motivation is emotional and temporary, but discipline is structural and permanent. Many people wait to feel motivated before they act, but successful people act even when they do not feel like it. Wealthy individuals understand that emotions are unreliable financial guides. There will be days when you do not feel like saving money, investing, or learning something new. Those are the days that matter the most. Discipline is choosing your future over your present comfort. If you only work when you feel inspired, your progress will be inconsistent. But when discipline becomes your lifestyle, success becomes inevitable. Wealth is not built by occasional effort. It is built by consistent obedience to wise principles. Train yourself to do what is right even when it feels difficult. Your future self will thank you for the sacrifices you make today. The third principle is that wealth begins in the mind before it appears in the bank account. Your financial reality is often a reflection of your thinking patterns. If you think like someone who is poor, you will often make decisions that keep you poor. But when you begin to think like someone who is financially wise, your actions will begin to change. This does not mean you should worship money. It means you should respect financial intelligence, learn how money works, understand how investments grow, understand how debt can either be a tool or a trap depending on how it is used. Your mind is the first business you must develop before you can build financial success in the physical world. When your thinking changes, your behavior changes. When your behavior changes, your results will change. The greatest investment you can make is not in stocks or property alone, but in your own financial education. The fourth principle is that consistency beats intensity in financial growth. Many people become excited about success for a short time, then lose momentum. But wealth belongs to those who keep going when excitement disappears. You do not need to do extraordinary things every day. You only need to do ordinary things consistently. Saving small amounts regularly is more powerful than saving large amounts occasionally. Investing small amounts regularly can produce greater long-term results than waiting to invest large amounts later. Life rewards persistence. Rivers do not cut through mountains because they are strong. They cut through mountains because they are consistent. In the same way, financial freedom is achieved by persistent effort over time. Stay faithful to your systems even when results are not immediately visible. The fifth principle is that learning to manage money is more important than earning money. Many people think their problem is income, but sometimes their real problem is financial management. You can earn a large salary and still struggle financially if you do not know how to control spending. Wealthy people focus on managing what they have before chasing more. Budgeting is not restriction, it is wisdom. Knowing where your money goes gives you power over your future. Avoid emotional purchasing decisions. Ask yourself whether every purchase adds value to your life or only temporary satisfaction. Financial freedom comes when you control money rather than allowing money to control you. Master the skill of managing resources, and resources will continue to come to you. The sixth principle is that success is built through systems, not luck. Many people wait for lucky opportunities, but successful people create systems that generate opportunities. A system is a set of habits that work automatically. When you build strong financial systems, your success does not depend on daily emotional decisions. Create automatic savings plans. Create investment strategies that work continuously. Build income systems that operate even when you are resting. Do not rely on luck, rely on structure. Structure produces stability. Stability produces growth. Growth produces freedom. The seventh principle is that your daily decisions determine your financial destiny. Destiny is not decided in one moment. It is decided in thousands of small moments. Every time you spend money, you are voting for the type of future you will have. Every time you learn something new, you are investing in your future earning potential. Every time you practice discipline, you are strengthening your financial character. The life you live tomorrow is being shaped by the habits you practice today. If you want a wealthy future, start making wise decisions in small matters right now. Your destiny is not controlled by chance. Your destiny is shaped by choice. Choose wisely, live intentionally, and build your life with purpose and discipline. Stop waiting for large opportunities. Start mastering small habits. Save consistently. Learn constantly. Invest wisely. Live below your means while you build your dreams. Your future is not decided by your current salary. Your future is decided by your daily habits. Remember, this success does not shout. Success grows quietly. And one day, when people see your life, they will call it luck. But you will know it was discipline. Build your habits today, and your wealth will build your tomorrow.